The development of steam-powered railways in the 19th century revolutionized transportation in Canada and opened new markets and settlement in the West. Until the rise of the personal automobile and creation of highways, railways were the only viable long-distance land transportation available in Canada. Those who maintained the track and ensured its safety, often in grueling conditions, were considered the unsung heroes of the railway. Larry Potter and those before him have had a hand in keeping it in service for well over a century.
I was born in Hannah. We lived at Hackett, of course, and when we used to go to Hannah on a train, we used to get on at Hackett and go on the south train to Hannah and stay at my grandmother's. And my cousins took me down to the roundhouse. I can remember the very day we walked along there and looked at those engines and how big they were, and that was unforgettable. I miss the way things were. Kids nowadays, they have no idea. Really, they don't know what it was like then, but I do. I'm ranch raised, and I wanted to get out of school and go to work. So I went working for a grain farmer near east of Drumheller. I got a letter from my mother one day. There's a new section crew foreman moved into Hackett. He said, we met him the other day, and he said, the one man that's working there is quitting, and he said, wondered if there's anybody interested in a job, and she said, I wonder if you'd be interested in coming home and if you want to take that job. And I thought, yeah, I think I would. Monday morning, I was starting on the section at Hackett, on the Indians up. Our day was 9 hours. I had Saturday and Sunday off, and besides that, I had $1.05 an hour pay. I really liked it. We got to go out in the morning and start the speeder, and the way we went down the track and where we were going to put ties in, and everything was done by hand. It was dangerous. It was times that, you know, you could get run over by trains, or you could get caught on a track by a train. Largely it is communication, like missing something, not picking up your lineup properly. See, every morning we had to get a lineup from the train dispatcher, what trains there was this day, and what time they would arrive, and there could be maybe something forgotten, or maybe the train wouldn't show up when we figured it would be, so now it's getting late and we want to get in, and now we're going to have to run against the train if we want to go in. It could be around the next curve, things like that, you know, but you don't want to take a chance on bucking a train to get home. So we might have to flag around the curve. We stopped the motor car by a takeoff stand or a crossing, and then walk around the curve with a flag and have a look down. When you see if it's clear, no train coming, then you could give the foreman a wave with a flag, and down he'd come with a speeder, and we'd make it around that curve. And then if we make it as far as we can see, no headlight, come to another curve and we have to flag around that. We've done that to get all the way home. I've been in some motor car accidents, 20 miles an hour and hit a end of a rail with a wheel. That's an awful bang. It is. I thought we were going to jump off the track. The wheels are small on those motor cars, and you can go down in between the ties when you come off the track, and it'll either spin around like that, throw you off, and you'll go underneath of it. They're very dangerous. Places like Hackett and Bymore, Indiang, Scapa, they were all built along when the rail line went through. Leo was the first grain elevator built in Alberta. When the railway came through, it bypassed them by about 10 miles. And so they moved all the buildings over to the new Leo, which assembled by the track. That's how it was in the pioneer days, when people largely farmed with horses, you know, and that's when the railroad was, that they really needed the railroad then, because the railroad could bring lumber and they could ship their stuff in and out, and they could haul their grain 1 mile to Hackett and take it to the elevator there and get paid for it with a team and wagon. And we did that. So that was all phased out. Like it went like the steam engine and the diesel. When the diesels come in, you know, what an improvement. What a godsend it was to have diesels come in, you know. It was such an improvement. Everything around the country and the surrounding area just blossomed out. It just improved immensely. The last train, they came up to Bymore from Hanna, picked up the last 4 grain cars, and headed back for Hanna. And the engineer was Gus Annis. When that train left Bymore, that was the last train. It disappeared into history. Just such a change. I can take myself sort of back to that era and live it again. Alberta Prairie are refurbishing a lot of it. A little station, for instance, at Warden, and to see the restoration of this station, if that would have been torn all out, we would not have the passenger trains and the passengers coming in here. They're absorbing history right there. They're sitting on it and they're riding on it, and they've never heard the click of the wheels. They've never felt the jar of the cars, now they are. This is taking them back in the original history of the railway. I mean, that's what it is.